Our problem was we don't have planning together.
Right.
So therefore we had to come up with a way that we could talk to each other about what's going on.
And the Google Drive and email was the best way that we figured, because it was quick, it was easy. We didn't have to call each other and interrupt each other during class time, because a lot of times our schedules didn't work and our plannings weren't at the same time. A lot of times my planning is split between 3rd grade and 5th grade. So my planning with Libby is during a lot of times with
It's during our TBTs.
yeah, it's through our grade level meetings. So then we don't have time individually to plan. And then my second half of my planning is with a completely different grade with another teacher that I co-teach with. So we definitely had to make sure that that worked through emails and Google Drive, and emailing and texting each other saying, hey, I sent you something through an email. And just that open line of communication is the big key. Is in a give and take, to know when to take the lead, when to let the other person take the lead.
Or when you're testing and stuff too, then I have to pick up a little bit more because
Right.
she's busy doing something else.
Yeah. During benchmark testing, the intervention specialists get tested or test a lot of kids. So we get pulled out a lot. So then, in that perspective, the gen ed teacher has to pick up the
a little
slack.
bit.
And especially when it comes to the day-to-day in class instruction.
Yeah.
Because we're on different sides of the building and I'm housed in a different classroom. And I think that's really helped too, because then we're more driven, not being housed in the same room, to use that Google Docs or that Google Drive and email each other back and forth to really
Keep each other
in the loop of, yeah.
We set up our stations. I set them up by their abilities.
Right, you look at their star
I look
scores.
at their star scores and I set them up by their abilities.
And then I look at their star scores district-wise anyway, to determine who's going to fall into the supplemental reading program.
And then, like, we're focusing on main idea right now and summarizing, and our homework deals with that. So we've been working on it. So my group, we were doing a closed read where they were highlighting main ideas.
Mm-hmm.
This was their second time through. So if it's hibernate, what are they trying to tell us about hibernation?
That their heart rate, like,
Is that the main idea? Is the whole paragraph about their heart rate?
it's about how they hibernate.
It's all about how they hibernate, right? So would our main idea be something like some land animals
Can find food during
hibernate to conserve energy? Could you do something like that? Some land animals. They were highlighting main ideas, supporting details,
Yeah.
and then we went into some review context clues questions to kind of keep that fresh in their mind.
And then with the alternate assessment kids with their homework, I try to hit the previously taught skills that you had, like even way back from like September, to do character traits and circling and underlining words they don't know, and
Annotations.
yeah. He's accident prone, isn't he? He doesn't think before he acts, right? And then once he starts to act and he gets himself into trouble, he's like, oh. So it's kind of good that they have each other and that they're best friends, because they kind of counteract each other, don't they? Daniel's always there to get Ty out of trouble, and Ty's always there to get Daniel to do some fun things, right?
Yes.
So what
Daniel didn't really talk so much in this.
No, because he was trying to do the right thing and solve the problem on how because the first thing was that they were going to use the camera. So he was trying to come up with a gadget that would do it right the first time, and Ty got a little too anxious and was like, forget this, we're going to do it the not so good way. We're going to do it the way that's going to get us in trouble.
And then my other station was reinforcing that we said main idea is like a house.
And it's an independent level for all the kids.
Yeah.
And even for the lower level kids, they're hitting, the higher level kids are helping the lower level kids to read what's going on. And then kids are able to
They can manipulate the cards, so like the lower kids too didn't have to write it all out. They can
Right.
They just moved it around, and then Leah helped them.
Yeah, the classroom mate
Check
helped
it.
with the.
And then Google Classroom was being read to the AA students and the kids who have read alouds, and the rest of them were reading it because it was questions from the story.
Yeah. And then the supplemental reading program was with the kids that hit the bottom 20% in the grade, and then the higher end of that bottom 20%. Then we hit the needs that they were lacking, comprehension, phonics and word work that they might have missed or not retained. So, yeah, we've hit every kid, and then there at the end we hit the Watson's Go to Birmingham.
Which is doing interactive read aloud after I did guided reading with them in small groups in the first chapter.
I always feel like I have to be student-centered this year. Like I'm forced to do it, unlike in the past where I could do by ability, student ability centers. Like, whereas this year I'm focused on just these 2 or 3 kids, and that's it. Just because of the program that we're using, that it's more forced than it is the feel of what the student's capable of doing.
I think I've always been that way because I've always done stations.
I've always done it that way, yeah.
I've always, yeah.
And it's never been forced, you know
No,
what I mean?
that's just the way I felt like I needed to be to get all the needs of all the kids in and all the different learning modalities they have.
Yeah, we're always flexible.
We are always flexible. We change things around if need be.
Yep. Good work ethic.
Consistent. I think we're always consistent.
Oh, yeah. Oh, always consistent?
Don't you think so?
Yeah, I feel like just because of my schedule, that there's always that 5-minute overlap of being consistent. I'm coming in because I'm coming from the other side of the building.
That is true.
But, I mean, I think with the content and what we're teaching, absolutely.
And the routine. The kids know when they come in, this is what they're doing.
Yeah, I'm going to put, like, just because of scheduling, there's times that I feel like, on my part,
yeah.
But I think in a sense of content and what we actually do once I'm in there, I feel like we are.
Yeah. And I think we put in the time necessary because we both stay before and after
always,
school to make sure we have what we need before the kids come in.
And you always give me the stuff like 2 or 3 days in advance so that I can give it back to you a day or 2 in advance.
Yeah.
Or at least the day of, the morning of anyway.
The morning of sometimes. That's okay.
But I got it.
We got it.
What about the problems and initiating solutions? I think we did that like at the beginning of the year. And now that we've got our routine in, I feel like that there really is.
Well, and even with this, when we were filming, we had to switch things around because of something coming up.
Yeah.
And we always
I
do
always
that.
feel like we do.
Yeah.
Well, I always think we're always proactive.
Oh, yeah. We can head off a problem or...
Always tolerant. Well,
I'm going to say typically tolerant because everybody has a bad day. There are days
yes.
that I'm probably not as tolerant as I should be.
Same for patience.
Patient.
I think we're always honest.
We're always honest.
Because I'm always like, I'm slacking this week. Help me out.
And I say you're getting on my nerves.
Yes, and I always say, when I don't want to talk to you, I give you the silent treatment. You know that then that's when I'm mad.
That's when you're mad at me.
I always feel like I'm trusting and trustworthy.
I think so too. I feel like I am too, right? You can trust me to take
Yeah,
care of that.
I always think we always resolve our conflicts, whatever we have. Like, that there's always something. Like, if I'm like
Upset about something.
Yeah, I always feel like we.
Yeah, I think so.
So the 3, are we going to do the 3 professional goals? Of course, that we could do. I don't know. I mean, there's always room to grow.
I think asking other people for advice because I like to figure it out myself.
Yeah.
I have a problem with, going to you and saying, "Hey, I can't figure this out. I got it. I'll get it."
Yeah. Okay, we could, because
for me, that's mine.
Yeah, because I think too. I think mine is to communicate a little bit more clear. Yeah, because a lot of times I kind of like internalize a lot of things and then I don't ask. kind of like what you said about ask others
Yeah,
for advice. I typically kind of try to,
I just take it myself.
internalize that a little bit too often and asking for that advice and get it. Got it.